Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go and dive into the gold and silver technical analysis to our daily update. I'll give you my financial opinion and we'll dive right into the charts and I'll let the charts do the talking. So today we've got the US dollar index. I'm starting with the dollar and the 10-year yields. Dollar getting a little bit of a boost today, up 0.24%. Bullish engulfing. I think the dollar, at least this index, looks like it wants to go higher. Looking at the 10-year yield, it looks pretty good to continue higher by a small down day. Yeah, we got a little small up day today, but it's still looking really good. Yeah, I could float around a little bit here, but it's in an uptrend. It looks good. Yeah, that's what I've got for that. For gold, gold was down a little bit. We're right at this resistance line coming through. We'll see if we can break through it. It tried breaking through and it sold back off. That's why there's a little wick at the top. But it's a small down day, so I don't think there's a ton of sellers there, and hopefully we can continue higher. Silver's looking good. It does have a little wick at the top, which means we ran into some selling pressure. Came back down a little bit. Overall, I'm kind of indifferent on this candlestick pattern right here. It's got a little bit of bearishness and a little bit of bullishness both tied into it. So we could see a little bit of a down, maybe a couple down days if it's a small down days, and then a continuation pattern up. Platinum, again, it's very much like silver, a little bit of a wick at the top. I like finishing strong where the momentum's to the upside. So we did run into some sellers here. That's why the wick is present. And we could have a down day or two of sideways action, is my guess, before moving higher. Looking at XEU to gold ratio, the silver miner companies are selling off a little bit in relationship to gold. We broke this downtrend line in the ratio. We're coming back just below it, and we're getting a little bit of a battle here. So some of these companies did pretty well, like Karora Resources did pretty well today, shooting higher. EXK selling off a little bit, almost a bearish piercing pattern, which means we could head a little bit lower. Hopefully it's small, tight, coming back to this support line for a retest. And the line I'm talking about is this guy right here. Hopefully we can kind of come back to that line and then take off again. SILJ, I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing across the board here, is we might see a little bit of a pullback to this line and then a takeoff. And GDX is the same thing, a little bit of a bearish, it's almost a bearish piercing. It's not, but it's dark cloud cover where it comes up, it opens here and then sells off throughout the day. It's a little bit bearish, which means we could have a down day the next trading day, but we'll see what happens. Metallic minerals, 4.6% up day today. This thing is right on its big pattern. I think it looks good for a long-term hold. That's what I think. And Koyo Resources also looks good for a long-term hold down here. I think it's pretty cheap. It's broken its downtrend. Yeah, it may pull back a little bit at some point and then take off, but it looks pretty good. Discovery Silver getting a little bit of a sell-off today. It seems like whenever we hit this resistance line coming down, it wants to sell back off and go back into the pattern. That's exactly what we did. AG, getting a little bit of selling pressure today, a little bit of dark cloud cover. What that means is that you've got the opening and closing price covering the last closing price. That's called dark cloud cover, where you come up, get a little bit of selling pressure. Newmont, yeah, it sold off a little bit today. Nothing really to worry about too much. Mag Silver's getting that dark cloud cover as well. We're probably going to grind sideways a little bit longer. Yamana Gold, a little bit of dark cloud cover on that. That usually indicates maybe a sideways move to slightly lower move, usually. Impact Silver, a little bit of an update today, 2.24%. Hopefully we can get loaded here. So in Impact Silver, it's a small silver mining company. Looks like we ended, it gapped up, came up, and then sold off. We could see a little bit of downside pressure there. Aftermath Silver, yeah, it's a black candlestick. We opened up and closed down lower. We could see a little bit, maybe a down day or two longer. PLG, yep, dark cloud cover. we ran into some sellers today, down 10.61%. So we had this nice big move, got a little bit of selling pressure. We'll see where we go next trading day. Sandstorm Gold hitting some resistance here. Another dark cloud cover is what we'll call it. It'll probably come back to this breakout area and then eventually work its way higher. And we're seeing that across the board. This dark cloud cover might get a little bit of a sell-off. It's almost like it's a manipulation day. Who knows? Break into this point to the downtrend line, break into the upside. Nice good pump higher there for EMX. That one looks pretty good. Teuton Resources, TEUTF, basically just moving sideways. Everything looks okay. Wheat and Precious Metals, that little bit of a dark cloud cover. We might have a down day, one more or something before heading higher. I still think we've got the buying pressure behind us. So that looks good. Gold Royalty, it's a black candlestick. If you have an opening price and then the closing price is lower, but it's still an up day. So the momentum is coming back down. Metallo Royalty, one of those dark cloud cover movements again. We're right in the tip of this big old pattern, so we're just coiling up, guys. Mavericks Metals getting a little bit more selling pressure, bearish, piercing, maybe a couple days down or something like that. Royal Gold getting a dark cloud cover. Maybe we'll come back to this breakout point down here somewhere before breaking higher. And then a Cisco Gold Royalty, bearish piercing. We may have a couple down days before hopefully heading higher. So we got a couple bearish piercings, bearish patterns, dark cloud cover, which means that if you close right here, the price, it opens up and then sells off throughout the day, which means there's some sellers there still. But I'm still overly bullish on the sector. It's coming. We have inflation. This will go higher eventually. So remain patient, remain positive, look for opportunities, and I would be a accumulator when on pullbacks and a holder when it continues to go up. So I wouldn't be selling shares. This is an accumulation type of environment where I think we'll see much higher prices over the next probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, somewhere in that range. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.